Okay, before we start, let me give you a little heads up on how things work around here. So, my name is Julia Richards, and I am the director of the TV series Lore, and I am sure you are aware of that. The program I run is produced by Nations TV. They produce some of the other TV program and famous ones you've seen too as well. Mine airs 5:45 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., and my audience is a mix of different age group, though majorly the range is from 20 to 37. So, am I getting my point across, or do I need to end this so I know I'm not wasting my time?
I mean, I get you, but you don't have to be so rude. It's rather obnoxious to say I'm wasting your time when my purpose of coming here is for you to interview me, and I listen to what you have to say about me.
Well, you just sat there looking puzzled, so I assumed, and how's asking about that rude? Anyways, you've already wasted some part of my time by coming late to this interview. I even forgot to mention that.
But I was just 2 minutes behind. Come on, it's not that much of a deal, really.
Yeah, 2 minutes is a really big deal to me if you don't know, and your impression already tells me you don't want this.
Okay, you've delivered your point, and I've heard it all. I can understand what you're saying and where you're coming from because I've done my research already even before applying.
Oh, so you have. Well, then I guess you're the one to do all the talking and not me, isn't it?
Okay, first of all, my name is Sunny Wright, and I am a writer, journalist, screenwriter, and photographer. For 15 years, I've worked with top-tier production studios and A-list studio companies. I don't even need to say much. My resume speaks for itself. So Lore is a show that started small but took off by storm and won so many people's interest, making it one of the most watched shows of the decade. Unfortunately, for years now, it's been struggling to keep up with media and staying relevant and has been losing terribly against recent and highly popular shows. Right now, it's sitting on a rating of 2.0. Its highest ever is 7.0, and its average is 4.5. But that doesn't seem to be the case, as that has dropped significantly in the past couple of years.
Well, your analysis and observation is spot on. I'll give you that.
Okay, so chances are the ratings are about to drop soon again. And if you don't get those numbers up on time, you might risk a cancellation.
Well, yeah, Sherlock, why do you think this whole meeting of a thing was in fact a thing?
Well, just saying.
It's not new to me that I know. It's what you have to say that I want to know.
Well, I'd say, what do you suggest?
What do you mean, what do I suggest? I'm the one asking the questions here.
Yeah, I understand that. I just want to know what's in your mind. Like, in order for my plan to fully operate, I need to know your thoughts or what your immediate plan is.
I see. Okay. So we're approaching the final episodes of this season of Lore, season 7. My plan is to use these finals to build hype and anticipation for next season, then capitalize on that season by building a strong foundation that will shoot the series back to the top.
How many episodes are left till the season ends?
About 5, actually.
Okay, but I don't get one thing. Haven't you gone through production and post-production already?
Yeah, you see, we produced the entire season except the finals, that part we left out, and it was my idea. Before even the production of season 7, statistics showed that the ratings would drop if there were any other season produced after the last. Part of this was due to how poorly the last season performed. However, what I observed from the graphs and information was that we still had an audience. Despite the negative claims from people and media, we still had people who were willing to watch. What then I quickly understood was people didn't dislike the plot, but how the season ended. So with this, we began the production of season 7, with exception of the finals, knowing fully well it'll perform better. And it turned out pretty well, actually, although the numbers didn't go up, but neither did they come down either. You can say it's the reason we held onto that 2.0 for long now. Leaving out the finals was exactly for this purpose, to determine how well this season performs and to follow through with whatever feedback we get. With the results we have, I am positive there will be at least a slight increase in ratings next season if we follow through with the plan.
Okay, I see. So that's the reason for the extremely high demand in scripts. Wow, well, you're good, but then that's risky and still is, don't you think?
If it was, it wouldn't work. And besides, this is not something planned overnight. It took years to get this right.
If that's the case, then to avoid this all, why didn't the show end when it needed to in the first place? At least that's what most people are complaining about. And I too believe it's the reason for the decline of this show and its ratings as well.
You're forgetting interview is the other way around.
Oh, sorry, I just asked.
It's okay, I wouldn't tell you anyway. There are just some things that should be and remain outside your knowledge. What is interesting to know, however, is what you have to say.
Well, honestly, what I have to say isn't much.
Listen, why I'm even putting up with you is because of your application and that short script you wrote. Indeed, I was hooked. You also mentioned something in it that captivated me. It felt like something I would say or want to hear. I don't know what you know or how much you know about me. I just know you know something that I need to know.
To be honest, you've said all that needs to be said. What more could I add, if not, however? The production of the last 5 episodes. If I must add, I'd say the execution of the finals should be in a way iconic, memorial, and spectacular, but I'm sure you know that already. Although it's rather easy to brainstorm and build anticipation that you think will work than to actually build something that will have an effect.
What are you suggesting?
What I'm saying is it's not just about trying to build hype. You need to create a ripple effect, an effect that will not only work but spread over affecting others. And in order to achieve this, you need to bring in elements that'll both excite the current audience and bring back some of the previous watchers. Remember what I said about treating your fans right? Yeah, that's the part you need to bring in here.
Well, I'm not a fan of the fan service idea, but I'll say that's quite impressive.
Actually, it's not about fan service, but bringing back a lost spark. It's why I said it should be iconic, memorial, and have elements that will spark interest, desire, longing, and even nostalgia.
Well, that's a vital point, but elements like that are quite hard to work with, especially if it's not done right. The show is at its all-time low. Bringing in elements like that will not only come off as lazy, but will totally backfire on us and bring us the exact opposite of what we intend to get. It'll repel the effects of what we plan to achieve.
You've gotten a perfect plot. The audience and interest you've captivated and stirred up also agrees with me. So I say it can be done, and it's pretty easy, actually. You just need to go back to the origin of the story to conclude a perfect end that will lead to a new beginning. In that way, it's 100% achievable.
You know, I gotta say, I honestly like the way you think sometimes.
I'm quite honored. Though, does that boost my chances of landing a script?
What do you mean boost your chances? You already are the screenwriter for the rest of the show.
Wait, is that for real, or are you just being sarcastic?
I may be sarcastic at times, but not at this moment.
Wow. I don't know what to say, to be honest, with how you acted towards me. I had low expectations of getting it.
Yeah, sometimes I may come off as rude or harsh, but in all honesty, I was actually just giving you a test. I wanted to get a glimpse of how your mind works and the ideas you can conjure. The thing is, I have had a lot of difficulties working with writers and scripts. It's always not to my liking or satisfaction, especially at the position that I'm in. It's so frustrating as I need perfection to pull off this downgrade I signed up for. So the pressure on me, as you can see, is so high, especially with me being in charge of almost everything. When my agent brought in your application, which was strange, I actually found hope because I had had enough of working with rookies, amateurs, and most, especially idealistic professionals who can't even take a critique. Seeing yours was like a breath of fresh air because it was so strange and alien yet compelling and in line with my vision. It's quite hard for me to see something like that, which is why I believe all this was planned and has gone in accordance to how you intended it. Kid, I don't know what you know or how much you know, but whatever it is, it sure worked for you.
I'm honestly flattered, really. Although there's no planning, I'm just that good at what I do, and to be honest, this is hilariously the most strangest and longest interview I've ever witnessed.
Is this even an interview? Just skip all the formalities and let's get to work already. You draft the script for the screenplay while I alert the higher-ups and above-the-line cast to let them know I'm ready for final production so we can all have a meeting and discuss plans and budget.
Oh, that's soon already. Well, okay, sure, I'll get to it. But why draft and not write the actual screenplay, though?
Because so both of us can work on it together. While I trust your judgment, there are still some beliefs I feel we both have that are quite contradictory. But I doubt it's any of an issue anyway.
I see. All right, I'll get to work.
And hey, on that faithful day of our general meeting, you better not show up late.
Don't worry, you have my word. I won't. Besides, I don't repeat mistakes, and to be fair, in a way, you did have hand in my late arrival.
Are you seriously trying to blame me for your lack of time management?
No, I didn't mean it like that. Geez, you're so explosive. What I mean is that I never expected an interview in a coffee shop.
But I sent you the location, didn't I?
Yeah, I know. Funny enough, I forgot about that completely. It was on my way to the studio. I remembered.
Well, that's on you.
But of all places, why a cafe, though? Sorry, it was all just so new and strange to me, honestly. I just didn't expect any of this.
Well, because I like coffee.
That's it. Really.
Yep.
Well, from a hypothetical point of view, I can see how that makes sense. But at least, though, I know something you like.
Yeah, you better not show up late.
I'm sure. Yeah, I won't. You have my word.